pieces of the puzzle that I've decided provides. There's 10 of them. Tools and resources are 2 of them. The resources where I kind of find where we fit in. Doing it the way we do as a vodcast or podcast, we're a source of information, a source of motivation, a resource for the people that might need a little bit of encouragement. It's a resource for them to be able to achieve their goals and dreams. If this show, The Source, can help our members do that, I'm all in and I'm excited. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to The Source. I am Kurt P. White, one of your hosts, and I am here today with my lovely co-host, Dr. Marianne Hoyle. Dr. Marianne, how are you today?
I am doing well on this beautiful day. How about you?
Oh, awesome. It's like we were talking coming into the studio. It's like, what a beautiful fall day.
It is. It feels so good out there.
But I think it's going to be short-lived. But that's okay. We'll take what we can get around here in Central Illinois for sure. But welcome, everybody. I want to thank you all for joining us today here at The Source. We are here broadcasting, streaming live down at Widecast Studios in downtown Peoria. And thank you. We're a day late this month. Usually we're on the fourth Tuesday, but I had a little bit of a vehicle issue. So thankfully we were all able to adjust our schedules a little bit. And here we are just a day later. So thank you very much, Dr. Marianne, for
my pleasure,
for bearing with me. And thank you for tuning in a day late with us. But as always, we want to bring to our members of I've Decided and the viewers, our listeners, a source of information, a source of inspiration, and it's always every month kind of centers around whatever the weekly winning word of the week is. And this week, it just so happens that our weekly winning word is action. And I shared with you a little bit, this kind of fit perfectly in with kind of where I'm at with my messages, is because action is part of my presentation when I'm out doing my motivational speaking. As of an instance, or one of the things I believe you need to do in order to live your life to the fullest is put your faith into action. So,
and me as well, because I'm in the healthcare field, holistic health, and action is a big part of it. Sure. If we don't take action to heal. Yeah, right. So it fits right in for me too. Yeah.
Should be pretty easy conversation,
yeah,
I hope.
And
hopefully should be. You all that are listening can follow along with us, and maybe we can
help you, inspire you
a little bit to take some action. I always like to start, though. We've got our journal, our success journals, and to share with you what the definition according to the journal of action is. Something that you do in order to achieve a particular purpose. The word that comes out to me when I read that definition is purpose, which again kind of goes along with my message. Living your life to the fullest, pursuing your passions, finding your purpose. All of those things can have the best intentions, the best laid plans, but unless you take action, you're never going to be able to participate and find that particular purpose that you're looking for.
And you'll occasionally fail.
You're going to more often than not fail.
Right.
Yeah.
I was saying it nicely.
Sure. And I think one of the things about, as far as the definition of particular purpose, that can be anything from, I need to make sure I get up tomorrow in time for work, to what, why am I here? There's a huge realm between, tiny decisions or grandiose plans that you want to think through. And you had mentioned something before we started talking, is a lot of times what holds people back from taking action is they feel like they have to have this overall plan or this grand idea before they can even start.
Right. And I've been guilty of that.
Of course. Yep, me too.
Yes.
The important thing is whatever that, it can be a small purpose. It can be a small action. It can be, again, something as little as making sure you get up on time. What kind of actions do you need to take? And we mentioned that it's just, we always hear about baby steps. don't be afraid to take that first step, and don't feel like you have to accomplish it all in one day.
Because you won't. And it might change a little because the more you take action, the more things evolve and come to you and open you up, the more that maybe you even find a better action.
Right. Learn to be flexible.
Yeah.
But the important thing is take that first step.
You got it.
You have to
Gotta
make
do
that
something.
move. There's got to be action involved.
I've said to my patients many times, you have to tell me yes to something.
That's
Yes.
perfect. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Everything can't be no. I don't.
No,
feel
you got to
like it.
tell me yes to something. Otherwise, I can't help you.
And if we really think about it, a lot of times it is that easy.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, we're all guilty of it at one point or another. It's hard to take that first step.
It is.
The quote that we had in our book, it says from Simon Sinek, words may inspire, but only action creates change. That kind of rung a bell with me as far as, put your money where your mouth is
Exactly.
something, and the grandest of intentions, the best, you could hire a success coach or success partner that's going to come alongside you and work with you and lay out a plan that's going to, help you succeed. And, all of those words and everything that the conversations you have may inspire you and really get you motivated. But unless you take that first step, nothing's going to change. You're just going to continue wherever
Do you know
you're
what
at.
I've done to help myself take that first step? Is
that?
actually make a promise to myself.
Oh, that's perfect. And do you write
Yeah,
it
my
down?
promise, like a prayer and to myself, to my heart, to my own, because I know I try and keep them not real big because
Right.
you know what I mean, but make sure I accomplish it or whatever, but promise myself.
That's awesome. That's a great way to start. And when another piece to that then that I think we talk about a lot here at I've Decided too is then when you have that promise to yourself and you've got that thing that's burning inside of you that you want to take that first step, the first letter in decide is D for declare. You actually declare what that thing is that's burning inside you. Share that promise that you've made to yourself. You gotta choose, whoever that person is or however, but that also motivates us then to make that first step and
Make your words have value.
exactly
And all those things,
and make that become a reality. So, another thing that Dr. Marianne and I do mostly during our source shows is we follow along with the weekly winning article, and I thought it was good this week. Basically, the title of it is things that you can stop so you can start. And there were 4 items that were listed that they said, as far as taking that first step or taking action and whatever you're doing, these are the things, there's 4 things that you want to stop in order for you to start. And the first one, stop waiting for the perfect time.
For sure.
Exactly. And
It is the perfect time now.
And you always, I thinking through that one a lot of times with your friends as you're a little bit younger than us. We're not going to talk about how old we are, but when your friends and your group are graduating high school, going through college, and people are dating and coupling up, and that's when is the time to get married or when is the time to get engaged. And so often, I think that you'll hear people say, well, we're just waiting for the perfect time. Well, this is my second marriage now, and that's one thing that I've learned is there is no perfect time,
No.
and if you sit around and you wait, you hold back on pulling the trigger because you're just waiting for perfection or when all the things, when all the, what
And
do they
all
say
those
that-
things to
when
be
all
happy.
the ducks are in a row. The ducks are
yep.
never going to be in a row. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, oftentimes, I hear people say, well, when I get this or accomplish this, then I'll be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for me and lots of people, that's not true.
Sure.
It's happy going along the way of
Right.
taking your action.
Not the destination, it's the
Yep.
journey.
Yep.
So I thought that was a great point. We need to stop waiting for the perfect time
Right.
and just let go and do it. Because the other thing that they say that we should stop doing is overthinking it. Analysis paralysis.
Making
it's-
it too hard.
yeah, when
Yeah.
it really could be so simple. And the emotion that you could feel, which is going to motivate you if you start something and say, well, let's just see how it goes. Let's start.
That's where the I Decided group comes in
Yeah.
very handy, because you get to communicate with all these different people or whatever, and just, I mean, they got stories as they're wanting to accomplish something, and you get sometimes things that are way easy, and you're like, why didn't I think of that?
Oh yeah.
Something, because sometimes you're so overthinking it that. So it's good to talk to other people and get other people's input, because most
Another
often they can
perspective.
help you make it simpler.
For sure. And one of the things that I've shared too is my wife taught me this, and I actually included it in our wedding vows. Is I tended to be, and still do today, I think, to overanalyze things, or
Critical thinker.
overthink it. Yeah, I've got to see the whole plan before, and so especially when I'm making tough decisions or things that trying to decide whether I'm going to take action or not, I'm always asking the question why. And what she proposed to me is, well, why? Just ask the question, why not? Just do it. So instead of asking why, turn it around and just say, well, why not? For me, just looking at it that way opens up a whole a whole nother opportunity to
You just might accidentally fail,
exactly.
but you just might actually accomplish something.
or open a door that you didn't know was there. So definitely don't overthink it. Just look at it. Why not? The third thing they mentioned is to not or stop focusing on fear, which that's a big one.
That's a tricky one.
Yeah, because just about in any conversation we talk about, no matter what the weekly winning word is, if you're just looking at what are the reasons or what's holding us back from being as successful as we can be, one of the big ones, if not the biggest, always comes back to fear. I don't know, part of my presentation when it says related to action, I say put your faith into action. And to overcome that fear takes a little bit, for what I explain it, of a leap of faith. Meaning, instead of focusing on the fear, focusing on God, just kind of let go. Let go, let God. He will guide you. And, if you look at it from that standpoint, I think the word faith actually becomes a verb, because it means you put your hopes or your dreams or those promises that you make to yourself. With faith, you can put those into action. So how do you feel, or what are your thoughts on stopping focusing on the fear?
Like I said, it's tricky. And I have worked with a lot of patients, and have therefore, because we as a human race have a lot of fear in general, and we all fear something. And one of the biggest things I think that I've learned is I want to say almost always, but I never say anything is always. But it all comes from an experience in your past.
And I would assume that maybe in your line of work or with some of your patients, I mean, fear can be paralyzing.
Absolutely.
Which so
It
literally
can destroy your life.
holding you, even though you might want to take action, you can't.
Absolutely. And there's all kinds of different reasons for it. But I do know that almost always it comes from an experience that you had that was a fear, and it kind of got stuck. And until you update that and find a different way to think of that memory, and most people know what it is or know some of them, so that you can update that and think of something good that came out of that, so that when you think of that or whatever, then it helps you overcome the fear. And the more you do that, the better it gets,
Right.
and the easier it gets.
And like you
And that's even taking an action.
right.
Do you know what I mean? It's just
decide.
working on that. Yeah, I use bioenergetic medicine to help people do that in my practice, but it's basically bring to awareness the feeling, the emotion, acknowledge it, and use different body points and things to help your body update that memory.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's, but yeah, fear is a hard one because,
Yeah.
like I said, it comes from lots of different things.
Yeah, of these 4, that was definitely, stopping, focusing on fear was the one that
But
stood
taking
out.
action on that, being in a safe group, another experience that I've decided I can remember that young lady and just standing up in front of a group of people that loved her to pieces and thought she was adorable and
Right.
whatever, giving a brief 2-minute about an event that was going on was so hard for her that it made her shake and it made her cry. But remember how happy she was that she actually even did that.
Right, and the fact that the group helped her overcome
Yes.
that fear
Yes.
by listening, encouraging her, supporting her, congratulating
And there were
her.
other people who had those same experiences.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
Yeah, and that's one
Yeah.
of the bonuses of coming together
Yeah.
like that and creating the opportunities for us to do that. And, then I would say, I remember specifically the lady you're talking about and think about 2-3 months later down the road how comfortable she was then.
It got so
Just
much
that-
easier just
yeah,
taking
yeah.
that little.
If
yeah.
anything, it was like, okay, you need to sit down now.
Yep. We created
So,
a monster.
No, she did fantastic.
She was great. But yeah, I remember that. That was hard.
Right.
And I, of course, cried along with her because I can feel that.
It's emotional.
It is emotional.
When it's-
letting go of
when the
fear and
anxiety
challenge
and
it.
fear is so
Yeah.
high that it paralyzes you.
Yep.
It's like you can't breathe.
Yep.
So, fortunately for me personally, I've not struggled too much with any of those, but I know it's a big hurdle. So,
I think we all have fears. We just have fears of different things that create different things in us.
right.
Yeah.
Well, the last thing that they mention here, Dr. Marianne, as far as the things to stop so we can start is stop the distractions.
Yes.
And that seems to be, the excuses. All of those things that seem to be going along in our life that we can, depending on the situation, use as an excuse or as a distraction, even though we know that if I focus a little bit of time and preparation and work over here on something that may not be exactly what I want to do, but it would certainly be the right step or the right action towards achieving my goal, you find all these other little reasons why you can't.
You know what I've done that I'm really proud of? I have taken action. I just realized that. In the last month or so, I have been scheduling my schedule exactly for chores, tasks, things that I'm going to do and focus on, so I don't have as many distractions. And that has helped me so much. So scheduling am I going to see patients? Am I going to do paperwork? Am I going to take care of myself? Am I going to work with some other people? And it's scheduled. And that way it's takes that away from me. So I'm hoping that I'm learning to let less of that happen. It's oops, not your time yet.
Right? No, that's a great example, and I
Yeah.
think we could all.
I'm proud of myself for doing that because I'm a wing it kind.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Because I'm a kind of wing it kind of girl. So
Yep.
to get me in a schedule is
I'm right there with you. I'm the
Yeah.
same way, but there's no doubt, and especially if you write it down or put it in paper, you're kind of making that commitment to yourself, and so following a schedule is a great way to eliminate a lot of life's distractions.
It
and
is.
focus on what you really need to be working
You can
on.
still be flexible. I mean, it's not the end of the world if
Right.
it's not, but it definitely brings your intention
For sure.
to that. Yeah.
Well, believe it or not, Dr. Marianne, we're close to the end of our time here. I hope, as we went through and talked about our weekly winning word action, thank you for sharing some of your stories and some of your
Thank you.
decisions
Thank
that
you for
you've
sharing
made.
also.
As always, it's a pleasure being here with you and with all of you that are listening.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much
Thank you.
for listening and watching in, and we look forward to seeing you be the fourth Tuesday in July for our next edition of The Source. And just as a reminder that, if you haven't stuck the stake in the ground yet, we would gladly welcome you, and we encourage you to check us out at I've Decided. The best way is to go out on the website, www.ivedecided.org. You can click right on there, become one of our community members, or like and follow us on Facebook. It's a great community. We'd love to have you. Dr. Marianne, thank you. And,
Yep, my pleasure. Thank
y'all
you.
have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
PeoriaLife.com.
Good work.
Yeah.